Alright, peeps. Me there with the man himself. Go make him introduce himself and you know what I mean. What CASRIC Auto Parts is. You see me? Yeah man, many people know what I'm going.
Yes, the name is Ricardo Scott. I'm the owner of CASRICAUTO Parts. I'm also a circuit race car driver here in Jamaica. CASRICAUTO Parts is located in Farm Pen, Savanna, Westmoreland. We specialize in new and used Honda and Mitsubishi parts. Anything at all that you need for your Honda, we have it here. Anything you need for your Mitsubishi, we have it here. Even down to the bolts, we have here in the store. So call us, email us, WhatsApp us, contact us for anything pertaining to Mitsubishi and Honda. Name is Ricardo Scott, driver of the CASRICAUTO Parts EK Honda Civic. Alright, with this Honda Civic, it is powered by a B16 motor built by Bujo. The gearbox is a built gearbox with M-factory gears. I won't call the ratios here, but the gearbox is not stock, but I know everybody should know based on how the car sounds. So it's a built gearbox with a B16 motor. Alright, the wheels on the car is a staggered setup for circuit racing. We're running a 15x9 up front on some Max's 100 tread wear. On the rear, we are running 15x80 offset. Alright, why the EK chassis? Before I had a EF Civic, that chassis got written off at Dover, overturned about 6 times through the chicane. And we looked at various different chassis after that car was written off. We looked at the EG
and we look at the EK. But my crew chief and I, we actually had a discussion and we wanted to have a newer look coming out. That's the reason why we didn't go for the EG chassis. And we didn't bother want to go back with another EF. So we wanted a new and fresher look. So we went for the EK chassis because of, you know, a stronger chassis and stuff like that. Alright, I started off racing with a 1982 rear-wheel drive Toyota Starlet, where I had a 4A GE engine in that car. That car was built just to do a lot of dexterity and sliding around. I wet my feet in motor racing professionally with that car by winning the 16 seconds class here at Jam West with that car. And then after that car, I purchased a 1976 rear-wheel drive Corolla. That was when things got a lot serious. That car had in a roll cage. I did a lot of rally sprints with that car. I did a lot of dexterities and drifting with that car. However, the dream was not drifting, but it was always to race at Dover. And that same rear-wheel drive Corolla started my Dover campaign. And I went through several motors with that car at Dover. Even one point, I put a Honda B20 in that car with the same rear-wheel drive Toyota gearbox. A lot of persons tell me that it couldn't work, but myself and my crew chief and other friends, we pulled it off and go to Dover and shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up the front straight and take them back out. That car was fun to drive, but it had a lot of issues because the engine and the gearbox wasn't the right ratio and everything like that. So we used to have a lot of gearbox issues. However, one Dover race meet, a fellow racer said to me, say, hey, the back of the car lift up. And you know, we looked into the issue and he said that, hey, I have a Honda Civic Shell. I want you to come and look at it. Anyway, after that same Dover meet, myself and my crew chief, which is my brother, we drove all the way from Savanna to Montego Bay to look at the EF. Not the EF, the EG, sorry. When we looked at it, it was just a bare shell and, you know, but I had a friend who had the EF and called him and said, you're selling it? And he said, yeah man, come for it. At the same time, we went and picked up that car and we built that car at the back of my house. That car won a lot of races at Dover, won a couple of races at Jam West also on the circuit. That car introduced me to a lot of things when it comes on to motorsports and the setting of a race car. I remember one race meet, we were in the vibe for a championship at Dover of the IP1 class. That race meet, I automatically broke out of the class by going too fast. That same day, the car overturned into the chicane at Dover, right at the container where we were driving, roll on the top and stuff. A lot of persons think that I wouldn't come back to racing, but this is what I love, this is what I enjoy, this is just me racing. I came out of that accident scratch-free thanks to all the safety features that the regulation has. The roll cage was done by my father, so he's the one who pretty much saved my life in that incident because he's the one who did the roll cage for me. After the car overturned, we had, you know, a discussion as a family. What's the direction? What we're doing? We're going to stop race or we're going to get a new car? That incident happened the October race meet. So that was the end of the season. So the next race meet would be for April. That would be the Easter meet coming up. I had a customer who I normally sell Honda parts to. I called him up and say, hey, you're selling the Civic? And he was at Dover when my car turned over, and he said, if you want it, come for it, man. And I went and I purchased the car from him, which is this car right now. Car was a driving car, road car. After acquiring the car, brought it back to my shop, stripped it down, and pulled it apart. And we had a different livery before this, which was black and yellow, and we made the first meet for that season, and we competed all year. So now we are just waiting for the gates to fly again with this new setup that we have. New livery, new look, new mindset. The team is ready to go. All right. What got me into motorsports? That's a very interesting question. My father is the one who actually introduced me to motorsports. He brought me to Dover back when Dover was Dover, where we had the RX racing, the Ford Escorts, all those old school Mini and those kind of race cars. That got me all excited hearing the engines roar, and just the sight of seeing these drivers attacking the course, overtaking, and just the sound of the engine. And I looked at all of that and I said, hey, one day I want to be out there on the track. I can remember my first time out on the Dover track. It was an experience. I don't think that I would ever get back that first time experience again. You know, even walking on the track is even more scarier than to drive it. You know, but motorsport is just Ricardo Scott. Once you hear about Ricardo Scott, you're talking about motorsports. Alright, well, as you all know by now, this is a B16 motor. Engine is fully built by Bojo. It has in skunk 2 cams. It has in high compression pistons, rods, and a bit of headworks done to the motor. We have on a header, skunk 2 intake, 70mm throttle body, and we're running some aftermarket injectors. I won't mention the name and I won't mention the specs on the injectors, and we're running Honda on the motor. Simple little setup. Alright, interior specs, we are running 8-point roll cage, custom made for the EK chassis. We're running bride seats with a 5-point harness. We are running Yanaka Motorsport suspensions with some fairly mild spring rates, and we're running spacers up front. We're running Honda TSX front brakes from the Honda Accord on some Hawk pads, and we're running stock brakes at the back. We're also running steel braided lines both front and rear of the car. My favorite mod to the car have to be the gearbox. The gearbox is the actual my pride of this car. The ratio them sound wicked going down the straightaway, and the car does shift sweet. You know, the engine can mash up 10-20 times, but you see the gearbox, I don't want it to be even greater gear. All right, my reason why I chose circuit racing over drag racing is pretty much because I like the rush, I like the turn, I like it's just me being one-on-one with the car and being one-on-one with the track with circuit racing. Drag racing is very exciting. I'm hoping to do a time one of these days with my car, but circuit racing is where my passion is. You know, the adrenaline, running 7 to 8 laps, cars behind you, cars beside you, a car push you, the rubbing and the touching. You know, it's just, you know, words can't explain the feel when you're out there, especially when you see that green flag drop and you're heading down to corner 1. Trust me, it's just a feeling, you know, yeah. All right, some of the things that we do to prep a car for racing, for circuit racing, is we don't really focus much on the engine aspect of it. Once the engine is there, the engine is just there. However, it don't make sense to go fast and you can't stop, or you can't handle the power. So for my team, before every race meet, we run back through the nuts and bolts on the car to make sure that everything is still tight. Check the brakes, check the suspension, because you know that sometimes these coilover sleeves, they tend to slack up and stuff like that. So we run through all of these little things to make sure that everything is still tight. We tune the suspension, we tune even the brakes of the car. We try to shift around things in the car to get the car to be balanced. There's just a lot of things we kind of do to get the car properly stable for circuit racing and to handle, because handling is key. Because it doesn't make sense you have 600 horsepower and you can't even put down 200, you know. So it's finding a balance, you know, and proper tire specs and tire pressure is something you wouldn't even believe how effective that is, you know. So that's how we do our prep for circuit racing. All right, the future for me and this car. The future is to try to actually stay with my B series. I love my B series. A lot of persons say, why not put in a K in the car? And power is power, you know. I like the all-motor setup, but I'm also thinking to go another route sometime in the future, probably looking at boost. And probably after that, I'm probably looking forward to doing some more modifications to the chassis so that I can probably run a class competitively like the MP3 class, or probably I might just change the chassis and probably go for something all-wheel drive. Who knows? Well, one of my favorite memory with this chassis is the very first race meet we brought this car to Dover after turning over the EF. I remember going out on the track with this car for the first time, feeling it and feeling how the chassis is more sturdier than the EF. And I said to myself, wow, this feels so much better than the EF chassis to drive. And running the first race of the day with it, I came in second place. And just that feel to know that, hey, I was just in an accident the meet before, and coming out with a new fresh car again and actually podium was a great feeling, you know. I actually jumped up in the car after seeing the checkered flag, you know. So that's my favorite moment with this car so far. I want to shout out to my sponsors, CASRICAUTO Parts, everybody know, Scott's and Son Funeral Service, Buju, my engine builder, Specs, my tuner, my family, my wife, my friends, and most and foremost, my crew chief. That man is the strength behind me racing. You won't see this car at Dover competing if he's not there. My crew chief is pretty much the heart of my race car. He's the one who checks everything to make sure that I am safe. I have to always big him up wherever I go. In every conversation I have with my car, my brother is the strength of me racing, and I have to hats off to him every time.
Crew chief, what you doing now? Explain
Just,
to the people more.
Check the temperature of the tire.
Yeah.
When check the tire temperature, the tire pressure, to see how much it got by depending on how many laps he did a while ago.
Yeah.
So we can know what tire pressure we should send him out with so we can have maximum traction on the track.
Oh, okay.
Tire them crucial, you know?
Yeah. So people, me out there the boss while ago and I tell her say, in a corner there when me feel say, yo, you not gonna make it, you know? You not gonna work, you know? You can't go slide, you know? You can't, yo, me not tell you no lie, you see? Me love the drugs thing, but this way that convert me for you.
Yeah.
Big man thing. Yeah man, it's a, when I say it's a different feeling.
It's a different feeling. You go down in a corner, you try break. Later than you did break last time. If you notice, I do that.
Yeah man, cause when I realize what I do is, like you go in a corner at a certain speed and realize you brake on a certain way and it's like you test it on a certain way and then...
I forget the tire.
Yeah. And then I see you come back round and I see you go in a corner hard and I say, okay. Yo.
So that's why testing is always important, you know?
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
to the track and you test different things. Word of advice, don't do too much one time. You know? So like recently now, one of the upgrades that we did, we work on some cooling.
Yeah.
We came down here one Sunday, feel that out, check everything to make sure that the temperatures are right.
Yeah, yeah.
Today now, I am actually looking at something that I did 2 weeks ago. I did some cooling for the brake system.
Okay.
And based on what I'm feeling so far, it's working. We're trying to cool the rotors as much as we can by using a duct. Look at the front here.
Oh, okay. Use it.
No.
Oh, these?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm sure now go on people. Alright, so these are the ducks. So one to the right and one to the left. Alright, so they
I'm gonna check the temperature.
oh, okay. See.
So there's a lot of things you have to be testing for circuit racing.
Okay.
It's not just engine
Yeah, not just speed and power.
handling.
Angling all of that. Yeah, cause definitely going into corners at that speed. I'm telling you people from my experience. Going into the corner, I think say yo, no say the car can't go in this corner at this speed. You go spin out. I'm tell you say the car sit down in the corner, people. Sit down, I say sit down in the corner.
And the
Just-
suspension at work because we did a lot of homework on the suspension.
Yeah, I realize. Alright, so I know you say you love the box, you know. You have to talk about the box again, you know. The box.
Yeah.
It basically to me seems like you have 5 first gear. So I feel like
No, man, that's called the ratio. When you're driving, you're trying to keep the car in the sweet spot.
yeah.
That's how you arrive at different ratios. I can remember the first time I tried working on the ratios, I came down here for a race meet and I was limiting out on the front straight before the start light.
Alright, so when I say limit, now which gear?
5th gear. So I'm
On the stretcher.
yeah, so I'm in the top of 5th gear. Yeah, and that's for that race meet. That's the only spot on the track where I got passed. Yeah, everywhere else feel great. I was in there. The gears were just perfect, and that was a 4.9 final drive.
Okay.
I have been.
You know what?
Alright, the gears are built. They are M factory gears.
Yeah.
3rd, 4th, and 5th. Final drive. I can't tell you the final drive.
Yeah.
It's a mix and match. All I can tell you is the gearbox is well built.
Yeah.
M factory.
Crew chief, I feel like the final driver I probably like around 6.2 or around 7.2, you know. Something, you know. Something.
Just a secret.
Yeah.
Let's
Yo,
say
people,
sauce.
we now make man give you stars, you know. You see me? Now go do that. Yo, I can tell you though, you see, all I research and work on to do in this.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. Yo, you worth it, man.
Yeah, man.
You see me?
The great feeling is me and my brother, we're not mechanics.
Yeah.
We just love the sport, and we find out that hey, you see, if a next man can do it, you can't do it just the same way.
Yeah, man.
So we do all of the research, ask the questions, we get a lot of help. And that feeling when we do the work at the shop, we drive out and go over, and when we get the check at that's the feeling, you know, say yeah, we accomplished something.
Yo, definitely. Because based on me feel, you know, just from how much, probably 4 or 5 laps right now, people, I tell us that them man I must feel proud, you know, for all the work them put in the car. The car, trust me, right now. You know, honestly, I never really like look into circuit racing. Like I've always seen it, and you know, me watch, me admire from afar, but you know, I've never thought about actually going into it until just now when I go up on the track. And I say, yo, I understand, I feel what you say when I say, yo, you see, when I make the first lap. Yeah, and I go in it, brother, yo, people.
Suspension is always key.
Yeah, trust me.
If you notice what he's doing now, he's also checking on the wheel travel.
Yeah.
Because we also did some work on the suspension. We're working on the some preload settings.
Okay.
As well. So you know we're doing a lot of work and a lot of tweaking over the COVID time here. So
yeah. Alright, so for those watching who don't understand what wheel travel is, basically the height at which the wheel travels between the fender and the wheel. So, you know, the crew chief, I'm sure him again, you know. Yeah man, cause the boss I do some doctoring and see the father, you know. The boss I do some doctoring right now. I check, you know, everything. I tell you. Honestly, me say we're circuit racing. You don't say it take more work, right?
Yeah, it take a lot of work.
A lot more tuning and
Because remember with drag racing, you know, they are basically focus on the front.
yeah.
And putting down the power at the front of the vehicle if it's a front wheel drive vehicle.
Right.
When it comes to circuit now, you're thinking about all 4.
Yeah.
You're taking corners now, both left and right. So
Yeah,
you
man.
have to make sure say put on the power properly and smoothly on the ground.
Yeah.
Maximum traction.
Yeah, maximum traction.
Let me add to that.
Yeah man, go on again.
We don't only work on circuit cars. He's coming bigger and better with his Civic. I'm not going to tell you what the sauce is.
Huh?
Coming.
Alright, we can't, you see, because we have so much different Civic, you can't at least tell them which one is Civic them, yeah?
Other person might not remember it, but it's a full black 98 Honda Civic hatch. I did a 13.0 B20 bottom half with a B18 head and some bigger 15-inch Dunn slicks. The car wasn't actually tuned. A whole bunch of little issues it had at the time, but we're working on it and we're coming back.
Okay.
We're coming back.
Alright. So people, you know say yo, I have to go vlog that one there too. You see me? We have to go put them out there. But so alright Rick. I think an important part of the vlog of some of my persons learn what it would take, you know, what would be the requirements if, you know, them themselves are going to like, you know, circuit racing.
Now, requirements to get into circuit racing in Jamaica is first read the rule book. Alright. There are different programs available for entry level, like Super Street class. You can use your regular, everyday to-day car and go and contact Leroy Spence, otherwise known as ICE. He's the director for that class at Dover. That's the entry level class. And all you need, you just need a regular car, you need yourself, you need a helmet, you need a suit, and you're on your way. After that, when you want to get into the roll cage classes now, we have a lot of classes at Dover. We have the IP and the MP and the Thunder Sport class. Those are the different classes now that you need a roll cage to enter these classes. You need a proper helmet. No, you need a proper suit. You need a glove. For comfort, you might need a shoes or something. But it's it's a step-by-step thing. You don't just jump into it, you know, because again, this sport is expensive. So you enter into a little street class, and then you take your time and you move up the rank until you can go into thunder sport. First class I ran at Dover was IP1, which is the first class of the road cage classes. So you have IP1, IP2 and IP3. Now I am actually running IP2. And now I'll be running the MP1 class because I put in the B16. So that's the class you need to watch out for. But come on, it's fun. Contact ice and get your feet wet into circuit racing in Jamaica.
At least
Started.
Yeah.
I know that franchise is going to think about it, you know.
So I'm not thinking about it hard right now.
So you might see that white EK
Yeah.
on the track sometime soon.
But true. Circuit business.
Yes, man.
One more question. So, people, you see the amount of trophies beside the man in the interview section. You can remember how much trophies you have, sir?
No, I can't remember because I give away some based on circumstances. My engine builder has trophies.
Yeah.
Trophies is at my parents' house.
Yeah. Trophy at the shop.
Trophies at the shop. My grandparents have trophies. Friends have trophies.
Yeah.
Trophies at my house. Trophies all about the place.
Yeah. And then people will have some. Let me just reiterate some of the trophies. Yeah, so. Yeah, man. How it feel though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's a good feeling. You know, good feeling to know as a boy. As a boy growing up, you see something as a dream, and you're now living the dream. Trust me. It's words can't.
Yeah, words can't explain it.
Yeah, words can't explain, but it's a good feeling.
Yeah. Yo, pick you up, you know.
Yeah, man.
You see me, take your time and, you know, come running a bad machine.
Yeah, man. Anytime at all.
Yeah.
Any words of encouragement for the young youths who, you know, feel like, you know, them are enthusiasts and them love the car thing and would like to, you know what I mean, take it on, anything what can help them on them journey, any kind of words of encouragement or advice?
First thing, don't hang your basket higher than you can reach it. A lot of persons want to do a build that the pocket can't manage. Take your time, do your research before you buy anything, do your research before you cut anything, right? That is crucial. I feel it the hard way a lot of times. Work towards a dream, right? Nothing is impossible. As a tender age, I always wanted to go into motorsports. And right now I feel old because I am in motorsports for quite some time.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not going to leave it for now.
Yeah. So, if I ask you, that's a question to how long have you been, you know, when I say professionally?
From 2013.
2013.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my first time at Dover Raceway. 2013.
2013.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not long, my boss. Long.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So you're full of experience. So people, make sure you listen, you know. Hear what I must say, you know. You see me, because you know, trust me, it's a very discouraging thing when you jump into this motorsport thing and the same thing you hang your basket too high or your expectations too high. You see me?
I can tell you, you know, in my line of business where I sell auto parts, I see persons come every day trying to do a build that they can't afford, and when they reach a certain level they realize that, hey, this bite off more than what we can chew. You know, and motorsports takes a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's something where we broke you. You can't tell you that.
Yeah.
So you have to be very, very careful and ask questions. I'll answer my phone at any time when it comes down to motorsports and give advice to anybody my customers can tell you. I'll be the time and I'll tell you what is what.
Yeah, man. So people, I'm hoping you enjoy this segment, you know, say something different. Usually it's drugs. Today was a circuit day. You see me? When you like what you see, like, share, subscribe. And I don't know. I wanna go CASRIC Auto Parts, buy on the parts.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, hold on, one more, hold on.
And don't forget Scott and Sons Funeral Service and Supplies, located in Amity, Westmoreland. Telephone number right here. We have the cheapest quality, best quality in West. As a matter of fact, island wide. So just give us a call. We know it is a unfortunate situation, but we're here to sympathize with you. Just give a call. Island wide delivery, pick up anything you want. Free, 24-hour service. Oh.
Alright. Yeah, any closing words, Daddy?
Yes, I've enjoyed my boys in racing because I love racing.
Yeah.
And sometimes I blame myself in bringing them to Dover when they were a baby. And that's where they get the kicks from and the love of motor racing. But I enjoy it. I'm always been there for them.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Big up.
Big up.